not Hawaiian. I'm not Native American. I'll let you guys know. I'm full Mexican, 100%. And for whatever reason, anytime I tell people that, they give me this face. Like 100%? Yeah, 100% Mexican. You sure? Positive. But I am full Mexican. I don't really come off it, and I struggled with that my entire life. I've never felt like I connected with my culture. I always felt like I was an outsider looking in. I always felt distant. And I told a friend this recently, and he told me, "Oh, well, that's because you're whitewashed." And some of you know the term. For those of you that don't know what that term means, it's a term that's used for like ethnic people who kind of abandoned their culture, really Americanized themselves and adopted a different culture, mostly white culture, and Steve Urkel'd themselves, if you will, and just the suspenders and all. I don't think I belong under that category because I haven't abandoned my culture. There's just things about me that don't come off very Mexican. So I came up with my own term. I like to refer to myself as Latino-ISH. I think it works. I think it sounds great. It sounds pretty good. And here, I'll give you some reasons what makes me Latino-ish. Number one, pretty light-skinned. Which growing up was a huge problem because I remember my brother and my sister tried to tease me and tell me that I was white and adopted. They tried their hardest to convince me, and it worked. It worked 100%. It worked 100%. I remember running to my mother in tears, just crying, just, "Mom, am I adopted?" And I'll never forget this. My mom looked at me in the eye, tearing up herself. She was like, "Julian, mijo, believe me when I tell you, I would never adopt you." So I'm not adopted, guys. I'm not. It's a fucked up thing to say, but I don't think she would say it unless she meant it, so I'm not adopted. Some other things. I'm not a big fan of mariachi music. It annoys me. It's like the loudest fucking thing in the world, in my opinion. I love their hats. Their outfits are on point. You know, not a big fan. I'm a Raiders fan, which is more of a Latino thing. But here's my thing. I'm a Raiders fan. I'm just not a criminal, so Latino-ish. Okay, I think some of you guys weren't with me on that joke. Let me explain it. I'm not saying all Raiders fans are criminals. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misconstrue that. Just the Mexicans. One of the biggest things that makes me Latino-ish is I come from a family where everybody speaks Spanish except for me. I'm the only one who doesn't, and it's really embarrassing when people find out I don't speak Spanish. Because if you're Mexican and you don't speak Spanish, you know this. People just assume that you do and come up to you and just start talking in Spanish. Be like, "Oh, ¿cómo estás? Spanish." And then I have to tell them in their language, which is also my culture's language, that I don't speak Spanish. So they have to be like, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" Spanish words. And I have to be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." No hablo. And they turn on you quick too. They turn on you really fast. Like, "Oh my God, you don't speak Spanish? And you're Mexican? You should be ashamed of yourself. How do you live? You're an embarrassment to your family, to your culture." And I'm like, "Mom, don't say that." My mom hates that joke. She keeps telling me, "Julian, stop telling people I say that to you." And I'm like, "Mom, stop saying that to me." I know it's not too late for me to learn Spanish. I know I could still go out and learn. It's just a little difficult for me. I suffer from a learning disability, so it's very hard for me to retain certain information. So I know learning a different language is a whole nother ballgame entirely. And I know it'd mean a lot to, like, especially my grandmothers if I learned Spanish, because English is their second language. Spanish is their first. So when they communicate to me in English, it's very difficult for them. And I know if I learned Spanish and I could talk to them in Spanish, it would mean the world. And I don't know how this occurred in my life. But as far as I can remember, every time I do talk to my grandmothers, I treat English like it's my second language. And nobody's caught on. Nobody's called me on it yet. But like my grandmothers will talk to me like, "Oh, Julian, how is everything? How are you? How is everything going?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you know, Grandma, he's ¿cómo se dice? It's good. It's good. It's alright. It's fine. You know, it's going." I'll tell you one last thing that makes me Latino-ish. This one's gonna turn, if there's any Mexicans in here, you guys are gonna hate me really fast after this one. Especially after all the other shit I just said, this is the thing that's gonna turn all the Mexicans against me and just come after the show and be like, "Really? Oh my God, you really aren't Mexican." But I hate tamales. You can see where the Mexicans are now! We found them! This is a Trump rally! Get them! No. Send them back! No, Oh man, I never said that before on stage, but that felt great. Oh, this is the most... Other than the tamales thing, that was the most fucked up thing I've ever said in my life. No, yeah, but it's true. Tamales is not my first choice of a meal, especially on Christmas. And my family reminds me how bad that is. I'll come in on Christmas, they'll be like, "Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas." They'll get to me, "Man, fuck you. All day we did this shit." But it's true, and it's a weird thing to hear that a Mexican hates tamales. It's like hearing an Asian person hates rice. Or like a black person hates chicken. Or like a white person hates privilege. You don't hear it. And when you do, you're just like, what? That's your guys' favorite thing. How can you hate that? You people love that. No, but guys,